Hi, everyone. Welcome to the VO Dojo's Ask the Sensei. This is our free monthly Q&A call. I'm Tish Hicks. I'm the Master Sensei of the VO Dojo here in Burbank, California. And each month, we are usually joined with our Techno Sensei, Dan Leonard, who is not able to join us today. So hopefully we'll be able to get your tech questions answered sufficiently, and we can have you touch base with Dan if you have further questions. Dan was just elected as the president of WOVO, worldvoices.com. So he's got presidential things to do, and we are so excited. Each month we invite one or two of our esteemed voiceover colleagues to come and answer questions with us. And we're super, super excited to welcome Natasha Marchevka and Katherine Tolle, who have a thing called Voice 123 Pro. And they have really built their careers and share insights on how they've built their career on pay to play, and have this wonderful program that helps people to build their careers as well. So always fantastic to get these other perspectives. So how this works is we'll introduce ourselves a little bit. Many of you probably know the VO Dojo, and then what we'll do is we'll take your questions in the chat. And so if you want to start putting questions in the chat, we'll take them kind of in order of appearance. We'll sort through and see which ones kind of group together, and then we'll have you speak them into the room succinctly, and we'll answer as many questions as we can within the hour. And we'll wrap up exactly at 11. We'll aim to wrap up exactly at 11. And then if you guys have a couple of minutes afterwards, like 15 minutes afterwards, we can also break into breakout rooms if you want to keep on talking about the things that, discuss the things that we explored today, or have other questions that we didn't get to. Want to introduce Jeffrey Gilbank, who is part of our dojo team. So he is here if you need anything in the background. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to see everybody. So just brief intro of the dojo. We're here in Burbank. We are a full training program that is designed to guide, support, connect, and accelerate you every step of the way, from I don't know to working pro, and all that entails there. Natasha and Katherine, do you want to introduce yourselves? Tell a little bit about your brief journey to here, and then what you guys are doing together. That's fantastic. Why don't we start with you, Anne?
Thank you, Tish, so much for having us. I am Natasha Marchevka, and I am from Canada. I live in LA now. I've been doing voiceover for almost 16 years, mostly from a closet, and now happily from Studio Brick's booth. Yay. And I've done it on my own for the most part, meaning I didn't have an agent for a good 14 years. And I cultivated all the work on my own. Much of that was online casting, because I knew in 2006 you needed to be online if you lived in Ottawa, Canada, to get work. I also have moved a lot and to the Caribbean and other places in Canada and here. And so again, needed to be online because that local relationship with agents wasn't really a possibility. So I do have an agent now, but as again, I've cultivated most of my work on my own still to this day. So I've been on Voice 123 for, almost as long as 15 years. And also other platforms. And I've always liked Voice 123 in terms of the clients they've attracted over the years, and spent time auditioning and a lot of time not auditioning, but found a lot of success about 3 years ago. So they changed the platform in around 2018 for the third time. And there's a lot of people complaining about it. And I thought, I'm doing pretty well. I should share with my friends what I do. to let them know that there can be success there. So I did a free webinar. I think it was 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago. Catherine. Yeah.
It was just a year ago.
Was it just a year ago? Oh
we
my
haven't
gosh.
even been doing this for more
Right.
than like
Okay.
15 months.
So last September, October, I did a free webinar for my workout group. And Catherine happened to be in that workout group. We'd only worked out a couple of times, so we didn't really know each other. And it was how to optimize your experience on Voice 123, because I really did want to encourage people, my friends, to use it optimally. And the leader of that group said, well, when are you going to help people with their profiles? And I said, never. It's too much work. And the next day, Catherine reached out to me and said, hi, I'm really interested in maybe helping you with this. And we've had this incredible V123 marriage ever since, in that we have very different skill sets and we approach everything differently. And we've created this, we started teaching people 1 hour at a time. And we realized, we keep telling the same thing to people every, at 1 hour at a time. Let's create a course. So Catherine, please share your background.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Katherine Tolle. I was in tech for a number of years, of almost a decade in the Bay Area, before I decided to start taking classes in VO as a fun thing to do on the side. I grew up doing theater, musical theater, choir, all those sorts of fun things, but never really took it seriously. I went to school to be an engineer and have always been very techy. I also love doing things that other people hate doing for whatever reason. If there's a thing that somebody else really would rather not do, I, for some reason, am the kind of person that really likes to do it. So I kind of perked up when Natasha in this webinar said, oh, yeah, that's not really a thing that I want to do. And I was like, well, here's an opportunity to make some connections, help someone, help a bunch of people. And I reached out to Natasha and said, I would maybe be interested in helping people with their profiles, because it seemed like a lot of the issue people were having was more of a technical nature. And if we could partner up the two of us together, Natasha has the 20 years of experience. I have the 3 years of experience. So that's not where I'm doing the best, but I was booking on Voice 123 and I really liked the platform. As compared to other platforms, I think it does a really great job of what it's trying to do, but it is tricky. And there's a lot of the things with the algorithm, and I had so many questions, and there wasn't a lot that was really plain to see. There wasn't like a get started guide. And coming from a tech and software background, I was so confused. Why is there not like an onboarding experience? Why does it not help you set up your profile and teach you all of these things? Why does it have to be so behind the scenes? And so I think Natasha and I partnered up beautifully. And started, like she said, started helping people one-on-one, optimizing their profile, teaching them here, a little bit there. And then we got together and said, okay, well, we've done a couple webinars. What if we put those webinars online? And then I did more research. I was like, what if we do a full interactive course? Because that's way more interesting and motivating. And 14 minutes here, work on it, 10 minutes here. Here's an 8-minute video, little bite-sized things to help people along. And it really spans auditioning, setting up your profile, what to put in your samples, how to keyword. There's, I think, 12 modules at this point. So we can answer questions as much as people have about Voice 123. I'm not 100% sure about the other questions that are in there, but maybe you'll.
Well, this is a smorgasbord.
Okay.
So if you have questions about other things, please ask them, and we all have different perspectives on them, and we'll share our points of view. So exciting, guys. And what I think is really interesting about, because I've been Natasha, you've been doing this for 16 years. I've been doing this for 25 years. Catherine, 3. Others of us, 3 months. Everyone's on their journey. But what I think is really interesting about how everything has been evolving and continues to evolve is that we all have to keep on evolving. So I think, I always look as someone who came up sort of, the old way, the old school way, which, used to be kind of like a trout pond, that the game was that you moved to a major market, you built your skills so you could get representation at a major agency. That was where there was access to all of the things. And so that was how you played the game. So if you came up that way, there's this whole other realm that is not necessarily beginning, right? That I think, so I think everybody it behooves everyone to diversify your portfolio. And the more efficiently that you can add these revenue streams so that you are the master of your own dominion, so this is not just a beginning approach. And I think sometimes there's a mindset, right? There's a mindset of like, oh, well, that's just starting out, right? But if you can figure out how to do this efficiently, and you fit it into your workflow wherever it is, like it is how you can start. So I'm super excited because there's a bunch of stuff I don't know personally, frankly. And yeah, so that is very, very exciting. Cool. Well, shall we jump in, ladies? Okay, let's see. Oh my God, there's so many people here. It's really exciting. You guys must be very popular.
The platform is very mysterious.
Yeah, I was going to say, and there's a lot of need.
Questions.
So well done, everyone, for being here. Okay, so
I think our first question is from Margaret Lange. And Margaret, I'm gonna pin you if you could unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Oh, there she is.
Hey, any advice on breaking into local market, local radio, TV stations that, just how to go about approaching them locally, or do they just have their people and they don't want to hear any about it from anyone else? And that's my first question. And the other one is just a technical little thing about what's the best service to use for transferring files to clients.
Okay. Cool. You want to, Natasha, Katherine, you want to take a. Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'd love to. First, Dropbox. Second of all, for local, it might not be worth your while. So one of the things I did when I started my business was I did the math, and I had a newborn or 6-month-old, and I said, how much money can I make doing 30-second spots for the local television stations, and how much can I make doing long form, and how much can I make doing audiobooks? Well, audiobooks I crossed off the list because I could see that with an infant, I didn't have the time and it wasn't worth the money. Now, I'm glad you're all sitting down because I'm going to tell you that when I said 30-second commercials, I was starting with local television affiliates all over North America, $30 a spot, because they're small and they're local, and that is the budget. And when I was holding a newborn here and had 30 seconds or whatever to do a 30-second spot and make $30, $1 a second, that was pretty damn good relative to long form and audiobooks, because I was in Ottawa, Canada. And in Canada, the rates are even lower, honestly, for local. And oh, Kenneth, I saw you said you're from Ottawa. Hi. I started my business in Ottawa. And so that's why I knew that being online was really important, both to be found on my website, but also for the online casting opportunities, which were very new then, but it was a thing. So locally, radio, there's just no money. So if you work for a radio station, you have to do stuff for free anyway. You're in promotions, it doesn't matter what job you have. You could be the reception person, and you do stuff for free. So radio stations aren't going to hire because they already have their talent do it for free, and they're not even talent. There could be the engineer or whatever. So that, and then television, all those affiliate stations, with the exception, I'm going to say, of 3 who I'm still working for, have shipped out their work to pay even less. So there are companies that they're big commercial companies. Gonna name one. It's called Spot Voice, and they'll pay talent $3 a spot, but it's a bulk thing and people go for it. And I worked for them for 10 days, and all kinds of clients that I had previously, years before, were there. And in full disclosure, I used a pseudonym, so they didn't know it was me. And by the third day, I told the guy I was working for, or seventh day or something, I said, I've just come across now after 7 days, 10 of my clients that I used to work for. I can't do this. The draw was that you make $1,000 or so a month because you got so much work. It was exhausting and ridiculous. And so these big companies are making the money by having the relationships with all these television station affiliates and then giving work to talent for $3 a spot. So that's an important thing to watch out for. It's not a great situation. But Margaret, also, you do want to network locally because there are businesses that need you for training and explainers and their website videos and things. And those are great relationships to have. So if there's Chamber of Commerce, etc., networking places in your town, I encourage you to do that instead. Meet people of all different industries that need a voice for their businesses.
Mm-hmm. And we come back to the crux of the idea. There's so many of us here because we need something, we need explanation. So just to have that mindset of what do you need? How can my voice serve? That's really cool. And Natasha's so smart. I think a lot of us come to this for our love of words and our love of other things, but do the math. That's the business part of that this is an art form that serves commerce. And when you recognize that goes both ways, and then that each of us will have different answers for those questions when you do the math. So yeah. Anything to add, Catherine, about
no, the only local market radio that I have done has been through referral of people that have like maybe previously done spots for a company or worked at a station, and they found out about me through somebody else. So not as much to add there, but I can definitely echo that Dropbox is amazing for client work, and you can just always copy a link to a specific file within your Dropbox and send it to someone. You don't have to make a special folder or anything for them. And I know that a lot of people use WeTransfer as well.
Yeah, I do. We transfer, like if I'm recording a session and then need to send it immediately. That's what I use. And then I think just in terms of this whole idea of broadcast, at the dojo, I always talk about broadcast kind of being like the cousin of voiceover. So it's something that is kind of its own world, its own family. It has its own way of operating that's very familiar. So it's like when you go to your cousin's house to sleep over, you feel at home, you're comfortable, but it's kind of different rules. That's how I think of broadcast. It's if you're coming from a broadcast background, you have so many skills that are so applicable, and it's just a tiny bit different. So you have to adapt, and then at the crux of everything that we're saying is relationships. Get to know people, let them get to know you, be good at what you do, help them. So great question, Margaret. And so cool to have the different perspectives, lots of different questions, or lots of different things that we explore from there. Fantastico. One fabulous question. Yay.
All right.
What else we can go? What's next, Jeffrey?
Our next one comes from Danny Saint-Germain. Hang on, let me do a little.
Sounds like a fabulous 40s star. It's Danny Saint-Germain. Welcome, Danny.
Danny, you're on the air.
Where are you?
She's not on camera.
Oh, we can't hear you either, Danny.
Okay. Danny, feel free to circle back around and message me privately or in the chat, and we'll come back around to your questions, but we'll keep going down the line for right now. So the next one comes from Tracy Taylor. And Tracy, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. I'll put it in the chat so you have easy reference.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Let me pull it up because I'm on my thing. Oh, super. Okay, so This is a long question, and forgive me, but basically a quick background. I joined Voice 123 at the lowest level to get auditions, started submitting mostly receiving Voice 123 suggested invitations. 2 personal ones I responded to, they responded positively to me, but I didn't book them. Sometimes I receive African American, African British, Latino submissions, even men. Which anyway, just to let you know, I was kind of like, what's that about? I think that's what you would call the algorithm thing. And then, so now I've actually submitted a lot. I do mostly British because that's my comfort zone. I can do other accents, but you know, blah, right? I just wanted to know, I would like to start booking, because if I can book something, then I can actually pay for the annual, the bigger fee, you know. Do you have any suggestions? I have a homemade booth. I have a 80-20-35, and I edit and master myself. And I have to say, it's definitely improved. I've only done 1 audio book. So I just wanted any suggestions you might have, and light insights. And thank you so much for doing this, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, you're so welcome. I have a ton of suggestions that will help everybody. If you go to our website, v123pros.com, we have a free resources page. So v123pros.com, free resources. It's not loaded with resources at the moment, but the 2 very important ones that are perfectly applicable. One is a membership strategy guide, and one is a percentile strategy guide. So on the percentile strategy guide, the number 1 strategy is don't over audition. And it sounds like maybe you have over auditioned for one thing. You just want to take your time on there. And that certainly is a big question. But when you are a free member or $3.95 or less, you're just going to get a lot of what's left over. And the algorithm isn't that smart. So there are going to be things that are not appropriate for you, like Spanish or Latino, or the only reason it would say male is if they're asking for women and men, or female and males, or you haven't set up your profile perfectly. It should just be getting what you, female adult, female senior. If you've clicked on male adult or something, you would be receiving those. But otherwise, the only reason you'd receive male is if they are asking for females and males. So with the guides that we have available, those are going to help you all tremendously to make sure you stay on track. In terms of keeping your percentile in a place where you're getting good opportunities, and also selecting memberships, because so often we got the question, they have a sale, how much should I spend? And everyone has a unique situation. So you really need to take your time to figure that out. And we have some cues in that regard. Katherine, did you want to fill in some things?
Yeah. I would just say, as far as people getting things that they think are wrong for them and what's wrong with the algorithm, there's nowhere on your profile where you say what your ethnicity is. So they're not racially profiling anyone. Because of that, there's now a way for you to decline something for improper matching, or I don't remember exactly what it says, but if you say something about other, like it didn't match, you can now select boxes to say, I don't want any auditions that have the words African-American or Latino, et cetera, et cetera. I've done that a few times now, and I don't get any of those anymore that don't actually fit me. Because if they're looking for that authenticity, then they're looking for that authenticity. Right. So you're really just wanting to audition for the things that are perfect for you, that perfectly match you. And that's one of the things that's in that strategy guide. I put the link in chat to go directly to the free resources, and you can download those too. There's also 2 podcasts that are there that are linked. So yeah.
Cool. And I'm always intrigued as someone who came up not in this methodology. It always seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like it's an elaborate board game, and you kind of have to read the instructions on the top of the box really carefully. And it sounds like what you guys have done is like, let's just play a little, and you'll get it when you play. right? So that's what I'm just interpreting. And then I think also one of the things that I also am always surprised at, but once again, I'm on the other side of things. But I'm always surprised when people are like, oh gosh, the money that it takes to invest in it. And how can you do a mindset shift, both as whenever you're doing this, we were just talking about this before everyone came on as we were getting ready, but there's a shift that as voiceover artists, we also are voiceover entrepreneurs. That's why when Natasha says, all right, what is math? That's an entrepreneurial mindset. That's a business mindset. And so if you come in, if you come into a business and have expectations of being able to start a business without investing in a business, and obviously I'm not being like blithe about like, start where you are and do what you can, which it sounds like you're doing, Tracy. That's, it sounds, that's all everyone can do. But how can we have a mindset of like, okay, it's $400. Am I approaching anything that I do here? I'm expecting to make $400 in a year. I have expectations that I will make at least $400, right? Because 400 divided by 12, do the math. That's not very much money, right? So how can we go into that mindset, or even $400? How could I get $400? So I think there's interesting things. There's interesting things, and then I'm just intrigued to know the other thing I'm hearing is how do we just understand the intricacies of these rules and how the game works? And then the other thing that I just heard, sorry, I'm just interpreting, I'm just sharing like all the things that just sparked for me. So maybe it does for everyone else too. The other thing I heard is, I think we talk about the algorithm, and it sounds sort of like, whoa, what is that? The Borg or something like that. But really it's just something that's part of our everyday life now, that you watch these shows and then here, you might like this, here, you might like that. It's like, oh, if you just think about that, that's different. It's not something you got to crack the algorithm. You just have to be clear, and then the machine does what it needs to do. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That was my little riff on everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully it opens up other. Yeah. Would you say that's accurate, Natasha?
Oh, yes. Much of what we teach is in the help section of Voice 1, 2, 3. So you need to read the instructions for the game that you're playing. And we've done that thoroughly. And voice actors are creative artists. They don't want to read the small print. We want to see video, and we want to be taught in a visual way. And so that's how Katherine and I have been quite successful with our course, because we're teaching in a way that Voice 1, 2, 3 isn't teaching their members.
Well, and this is something else that I was. Oh, go ahead, Katherine. Go ahead.
Oh,
No,
I
it
was
was-
just going to say, to the point of, the algorithm being woo, and the idea of like $400 can seem like a lot if you get on the platform and book one thing, or you book 0 things ever. And then there comes this like fence that you pass over where you will make thousands of dollars. I don't really know anybody between that. It's like you are not going to do well on the platform, or if you know how to do well on the platform, you will do well and you will easily make up your membership dues. But I think that the like hump of the fence, getting over that fence of not knowing what's going on and how exactly to use the platform, makes it seem like it's $400 that you're not going to get back. But just know that once you do understand the platform, it is much easier to make money if you're ready.
If you're ready,
Ding, 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 ding. Mm-hmm.
if you have the craft down.
So you offer the training for that, and there is free on this website that you mentioned, correct? Okay.
Yep.
So, well, thank you. And okay.
You're
I don't-
welcome.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess what we didn't mention is our course really, Tish, and that is we just didn't really talk about that.
Mhm.
So Katherine and I developed this course of v123pros.com, and it's helped a lot of people dig deep into each of the elements of Voice 1, 2, 3. So that's setting up your profile, setting up your preferences, figuring out this playlists thing, and optimizing your participation on Voice 123, whether it be on your profile or in your interactions with auditions, with clients, how to read an audition. And it's for beginners, you have to study at a school or with a coach for the craft, for technical, and potentially for marketing if you're not bringing that to the table already. You have to have business acumen and hustle. This is no different. This is the ultimate. So this is not for people. Voice 123 is not for beginners, ideally, because the competition is very fierce. It's very high. And it's not for beginners because you do have to have all those elements in play. But it is for the trained person up to the utmost trained person that Tish was talking about when it was a different world of voiceover and you were going to the agents. Those people could do well on Voice 123. They just have to have the craft, the technical, the marketing down. So if you jump on here, I guess all that to say, if you jump on here and you're not ready, you will not do well because the competition is so hard and you need to know how to play the game optimally. Your percentile will go down, meaning you won't then get enough opportunities and you'll have a negative experience. You can't just quit your day job and start on Voice 123 because you have a microphone. It's not like that. It's not for practicing, it's real jobs. And there may be lesser jobs, like from the plumber across town, but that's still a job. And you still have to provide the product that is a professional product, the craft, the technical, and the business acumen. I think that's, so our course, we've tried to make very good decisions about how much we price it because we are talent and we don't believe in having talent like their money on fire. It's really important to us. And Katherine and I hashed it out for a long time, the price point. So we're here to answer your questions today, and we have lots of certainly free advice. But in order to dig really deep, you do have to do the course in order to optimize your participation, or read all the help sections, and you certainly can get somewhere with that as well.
The other cool thing, can I talk about our affiliation with Voice 123?
Oh yeah, sure.
One of the other cool things about our course is that we were doing stuff that Voice 123 wasn't doing. Like they don't have an onboarding, they don't have really that kind of help section themselves. And they said, well, instead of us creating this ourselves, what if we just partner with you? And so we now have a 20% off affiliation with them. So if you have a new or renewing or upgraded membership until the end of this year, if you buy our course, you get 20% off your membership. So that can be up to $400 off if you have the 1200 level, or sorry, the 1800 level, the $2,200 level. Sorry, there's so many levels. But if you are at the 888 level, you can buy our course and get 20% off your membership and still save like $170, something like that.
Yeah, so then the course is free, essentially, because you get such a good discount. So Voice 123 supports what we're doing, but we don't work for them. This is all us.
Nice. Good. Wow, this is super cool. Well, let's take some more questions.
Yeah, these are great questions, everybody, and such great nuanced answers. So let's, I'd like to, if it's okay, there's some questions that are similar. So I'm going to take a couple at the same time. Barbara Faison and kind of skipping down to Mary Washington. So I'll pin both of you. What changes, to kind of piggyback off of that, what changes since the acquisition with Backstage and changes with the platform in general?
Katherine?
I was typing a question. I'm so sorry.
And I just like to add, I did the course. It's an excellent course.
Oh, Barbara.
Oh, thanks, Barbara.
As a trainer, it is an excellent course. It was easy to go through. I learned a lot. And I booked after I did the course, and I've been on the platform for free. I did sign up for a membership, but I booked, and I've been booking on, I've been booking. And so it's really so well done because there are things you think you might know, but you guys let us know we didn't know. So thank you for that.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you.
We did not pay Barbara to say that. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you. Barbara.
I'm so sorry, Jeffrey. Can you repeat the question?
I'd like to let Mary and Barbara ask it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just asking, have you noticed any changes since the acquisition with Backstage and Voice 123?
Absolutely nothing that we have seen or heard. I mean, we do talk to them internally every once in a while, but we don't have like some direct line to the C levels or anything. As far as the press release and everything that we've heard, they're not making any staffing changes. They're not going to make any website changes. I think they just wanted the influx of money, and Backstage probably wanted to be able to tap into a pool of talent that they didn't already have. It looks like they're trying to get more into the VO side of things. Because right now it's not a great experience on Backstage for VO. So anything else, Natasha?
No, I think also looking at the big picture, in the corporate world, there are buyouts all the time. So you never know 2 or 3 years from now if it's going to be, happy and unicorns or if it's going to be terrible. But what I can sense from right now is they're just not making any changes. And hopefully with the influx of money, if they do, they will be positive changes. But Voice 123, as you may have noticed, makes changes all the time on their platform because they don't really test behind the scenes, like they test as they go while the airplane is flying. So in a minor sense, they're always doing things, but in that big sense, we don't see anything or anticipate anything as much as anyone else who's bought a company. We don't know.
Well, I was wondering if you've noticed any changes in any of the clients or customers since you've been out there a while, if you've seen any changes from that perspective as well.
Well, I have, but not because of Backstage, I don't believe. I see more and more super legit creative agencies from New York and LA on the platform. And I think that's probably because of COVID and the shift of actors to home studios and the shift of budgets and these amazing agencies realizing, oh, I think we can get a deal. So you do have to be aware of that. Just to go over into another topic is that, yes, they're great projects and great clients, but they come to Voice 123 thinking that they're going to get a deal. Without a doubt. And so I have managed to turn my first job over to my LA agent because it first started out as one spot for 6,000 or something. I thought, well, I'll bite. And I landed it, and turns out it was 14 spots. And, what's the usage, et cetera. And I'd much rather pay someone to deal with negotiating and figuring that out than me. And I'm expecting a good check next week for that. So you do have to keep your eyes open because they're great clients, but they also are expecting to maybe not use an agent or maybe get a deal because they're here. So you have to be business.
And I think that's also like recognizing the evolution and understanding what you said, Barbara. We don't know what we don't know. So Natasha, what you said, like in the beginning, the newborn, what are the options? $1 a minute, that sounds pretty cool. When you understand what the value is and what has been established as union rates and usage and residuals and things like that, where things have evolved. If you don't understand what the potential of it is, right? Then it's easy to go like, wow, that sounds like a great deal, as opposed to going like, wow, that sounds like highway robbery or something like that, this is a little off kilter, but that's how my brain works. But I'm like, if you have, if you have something that you'd bring to Antique Roadshow, right? They're like, I don't know, it's a thing, but then you understand the value of it. Like, oh,
right.
Rare artifact, and it's not actually a really good metaphor, because what we do is insanely valuable for the value of our voice. Our voice has impact, and our voice becomes the voice of this company that is the interface that brings people in and connects with people's hearts. And that's what we do. Our voice connects their business, connects the business, because there is no they, there's only we. And the more we have that mindset, no matter whether it's for Jim's plumber outside of Ottawa, whether it's Jim's plumber, there's we're working together with Jim to promote that business, and we become a part of that. Or, I just had a 4-hour session for Workday yesterday. So yeah, I think there was a point there. There it is.
Well,
Oh,
yes, and I
know your value.
know your value, but I've been sharing this a lot lately, and that is know the worth of the job. They always talk in voiceover about know the worth, know your worth, know your worth. For me, it's know the worth of the job. If you are a beginner or you're not a beginner, and the job is a 2-minute video on a website, how much is that job worth? Don't get asked for less than what the job is worth. Having said that, if it's a small television station in Northern Ontario, Canada, the worth of the job may only be $15. And that is the truth of it, because that's the value of it in that local place. So no matter where you are in the season of your business, don't play the rates game with being strategic about bidding lower. What is the job worth? Figure out the value of the project and bid that, because that's fair and right for you and fair to the community. And that's why I went to the agent about that job. I want to be paid simply what the job is worth. I don't want to just throw out some numbers. What is the usage worth? And let's get that on paper. Thank you very much. So I hope that's helpful, but that was a lot, Tish.
Yeah, and I think those things go together too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
This is great. What's next?
Thanks. So we still have a lot of questions to go. So let's, if we can, boost
some
how we're
lightning
through
ones?
them. Yeah. So
lightning
next one
ones.
is a dojo specific question from Kenneth. And I'll put it in the chat here. All right, come on up, Kenneth.
Kenneth from Ottawa. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone. This has been really informative because I was speaking to a mentor yesterday, right? And we're speaking about rates. And it's like, okay, I guess you can do a job for $250 or $750 and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, the idea of usage, I don't know what the job is worth. I don't know if I'm getting paid $250 or $750 or whatever it is as I'm starting out knowing that, right? It's the same with my on-camera agent in Ottawa. I'm starting out once again. I don't know the market well. I don't know really what the job is worth, right? And there's a lot of hidden stuff. I don't know, like, okay, if I'm going to voice this, I'm actually getting paid what someone who's 5 years in the industry will get paid, even though we can do the exact same thing. And I was like, I don't know how I can, I'm gonna go back to the exact question I was asking, but this just really made me think. I don't know how I can, how do you really find out? Because I voice a commercial, right? Dr. Clean Teeth, I just voiced that commercial, right? How do I know all the markets that's gonna play in? How do I know how to negotiate for myself and all that, yada, yada. And number two, I'd love to sign up for the course and the workout with you, because like this has been really informative, mindset shift and being able to invest in your craft, but also get paid what you're supposed to be paid to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of rates and how things work, that's the ultimate top of the game box, right? And then, like everything else, I mean, it is shifting. And what was the expectation a little bit, this time, and then just how the business is working is transforming on a daily basis as well, right? So it's always everyone's always going, all right, hold on. No, so I think this is my take. And when once again, I think that, there's things like the GVAA, George Victor Apple, right? GVAA rate card. That is a great service that GVAA does. And if you use it, make sure you donate, because they make that available, and it's really well done. So you get a sense of what the different genres are, right? And then also kind of how you can be thinking about what prices are and how things are structured, right? And then again, this goes to the business mindset. Great. How is the business approaching? This is our advertising budget. This is how we're breaking things down, right? So it gets really complex to answer on a giant Q&A thing.
Fair enough.
But so I think getting accustomed to that. I think if you are union, I think everyone should be, everyone does. Hold on, let me just carefully open this box. The world has shifted so much. When I was coming up, everything was pretty much union or Bob's plumber sort of thing. Like it was, it was union, or it was really, really quite regional, right? And it was sort of separate. And now it's just all opened up. So where am I going with this? I always like to speak of non-union as not yet union as a thing. And also you don't have to have unions, but it's really good to know what union rates are. Because when you see what union rates are, you go, oh, I see. I see. Okay. So to understand that now, I'll be the first to say that navigating SAG-AFTRA also could use Katherine, and I think things are happening. So where am I going? It's complex. So I think the GVA is a great place to start in terms of how you're thinking about things. And then I think figure out how you set your rates and understand. And then I think it helps to evolve to a certain point, and then either this sounds terrible. Either develop your understanding, or like Natasha said, build your business so that you start getting more people on your team who understand those things, right? So then your agent or your manager, your agent understands how those things work, and they can help, and they can take the time to think through all those things, right? So I think that's a great way to think about it. Have a general awareness, and then build your team to get experts. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Natasha and Katherine, what's your thoughts on this? And it's so cool, the different perspectives here.
Well, for rates, you're asking a really important question, Kenneth. And yeah, so you go to the pros because you're just starting. You don't want to just bid randomly. So if you have on-camera work, if you don't have an agent, trust me, someone wants to negotiate that for you. Agents are in a position where they want work. So we're all in a very good position with agents right now. And when I have friends that say, well, I have to negotiate this. Yeah, call this agent. They'll negotiate it for you happily. And then they get paid, but they don't get paid that much. I mean, 15% of thousands and thousands of dollars is worth paying for. And 15 or 10% or 20%, depending on, is worth also an $800 job. If you're doing an on-camera thing and it's only $800, get someone to help you. There's no sense in doing it yourself. And then you look more pro as well.
That's
right?
exactly what, I was thinking about that because it's, and I'll get off the call because so someone else can speak to you, but I was thinking about that when the agent I talked to, I'm like, all right, well, I'd like to sign with you, but I'd also like to have a full perspective. Like, I'm moving to Toronto next year. I want to have a full perspective of like how all the different agents play around. Because it's like, I was speaking to my mentor yesterday, and the way he was throwing out figures at me, one of my mentors, I was like, man, I'm not too sure what's going on right now. How am I supposed to bid for a job if I'm not too sure of what I'm bidding on? So this really opens up a lot of doors in my mind.
Yeah, find trusted people, and they need you. Agents need you.
And
I will answer the workout thing in the chat as well, by the way.
And then also, when you're interviewing to build your team, representation, I think a lot of people look at representation kind of like standing on the corner like, I want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. Know what you want out of a relationship and talk to people and see how you vibe. And that's a great question to ask an agent. How do you understand rates, and what's your experience? If I asked you this question, how would you answer it? Right. And they're like, oh, I don't know. We just kind of like, my agent or my manager would be like, okay, so here's this, da, 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 and this is the things that these are the questions we would ask, da, 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 like ask your question of the team, of the people that you are inviting into this amazing vehicle that you've built. It's one of the metaphors that we talk about at the dojo is in order to break into voiceover, you need to be able to get on the freeway going 85 miles an hour with people who've been driving the Autobahn for 25 years. Ready? And can you do it? Yes, people are breaking into voiceover every day. New voices are needed. Everything we need you, and it is possible. Can you do it on a scooter? No. Right? You cannot. Sorry, you can't. And I think that's what Natasha was talking about. And then one of the other things, and then when you get to the place where you've built this vehicle, you know what the thing is, what we're playing, like, ooh, these are all the genres that we can work in. This is my skill set at it. That's that's what we call here yellow belt, right? We call that yellow. We start with, you should do voiceover. We're like, here's the whole map, guys. Here's everything that you can play. Then get to know what are the games, get your skills up. Then you start bringing, what am I bringing to the party? What do I know? And then you hone that into your demo. Here is what I am bringing to market. And then there's the integration. It sounds like you're in integration mode, Kenneth. I hear you have skills. I hear you're training. I hear you're moving to a major market. You're on your way. You're working in all realms of your performance. So then there's this integration part. And when you get to this integration part, you've built this vehicle. It's yours. You've pimped your ride. And now, who are you going to invite to help you navigate? You're in the driver's seat. Who are you going to invite to help you navigate to get where you're going? Right? That's the mindset.
Thank you.
And I'll just take care of everything.
Alrighty. So we still have a ton of questions. I'm just gonna lightning round a few that have already kind of been lightly answered. So Monica Leon, typically, is it something like, if you're considering upgrading your studio, should you wait to book work first or upgrade your gear first to get more work?
I'm just going to channel Dan right here. If Dan was here, we don't get equipment to get work. We work to get new equipment. So start where you are. Make sure you don't sound like poo. And do the best you can with what you've got. It doesn't have to look good. It just needs to sound good. The more, I just upgraded. I just got my booth. I'm calling it the Garage Mahal. Much better in here, but the Garage Mahal is open for business. I had my first session. It's a 6x6 booth that I bought used, and it's and I'm 25 years in, guys. So. I think so. Do what you can, set your budget with what feels comfortable, get good, solid equipment, and then upgrade from there. You just need to sound, it needs to sound good enough. I'm just totally tiny Jan. Just imagine I have a little mustache here.
A big mustache.
Yeah. But the answer, the fundamental question is, yeah, you kind of do need to do this work, be able to do this work from where you are at a session level place. Does it have to be immediate? No. Are you booking jobs? Yeah, then you do need it. So yeah. Well, how about you, Katherine and Natasha?
It has to sound A1. So one of the things we do, Katherine and I, are audition audits. And when I listen, if it's not technically sound, if there's too much noise, even noise floor wise, it is not going to be booked. So even though I love what you said, Tish, it doesn't have to look good, but it has to sound competitive, which is quiet. And I think that noise floor thing, what is it? 50, let's say 50.
60 dB is best.
Yeah, 60 to me is impossibly quiet.
Yeah.
I think, 55 is reasonable.
Let's go like 3 bars. If it's
I think there's
Bye.
also
And spinning around.
there's a pretty huge assumption that it has so much to do with your microphone on how the end product sounds, but it really is your booth first. And if you go ahead and you upgrade your microphone because you've got a couple of jobs and you're really excited, but you're in a not great space, it's going to sound way worse. So upgrade your space and your booth and what's around you first. I recently found out that one of my favorite video games that's got like crazy high acclaim was recorded on a snowball microphone, a blue USB snowball, because that's what he had. But you know what? You can do a lot in post-processing. So just keep that in mind. Doesn't matter as much about the microphone as you think.
Dan is irreplaceable, but I feel like we've done him proud today.
Yes.
Great. We're coming up to the top of the hour really quick. Natasha and Katherine, would you like to lay out for everybody how they can keep in touch with you and all that good stuff and your course?
Sure. So if you go to v123pros.com, there's an opportunity at the bottom to be on our mailing list, which provides you occasional opportunities for discounts. But also if you download the free resources, you'll be included in our circle if you choose to be, and then hear from us. But I especially in this time when it's a little quieter with voiceover, you think maybe in January, this is a good time to figure out how to use it properly. Don't waste your money. Do not pay money for it if you're not, if you don't know how to use it. Start with a free level, set yourself up, and then move forward, because you'll be throwing your money away if you just throw yourself in there. What else, Katherine?
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, sometimes people get confused and think that maybe it's a live course, that like there's certain time slots available. It's all at your own pace. It's online. We are not there except for videos of us. You can play and pause and start and stop, which is really cool for the more techie parts of it. Because if you learn a little bit slower about like, click this button, do this thing, then you can pause, replay it as much as you want, which made it way better as an online format than when we did it in person and had to like keep everybody in sync of like, click this, click that. Oh, you hit back. Okay, well, wait. So you do it at your own pace.
Cool.
Amazing. All right. Got some time for some quick questions about Voice 123 and practically how that works on a
do we want to hold on 1 second? I want to talk about how you can talk about the what you can do at the dojo too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, please do.
So once again, I love how this conversation has evolved, has come up, but and going back to the car thing, right? It's almost like Voice 123 is the on-ramp, right? But you have to have a car to drive onto the on-ramp. So really recognize where you are, right? Where you are. So if we look at, I think it's great to have the information and understand what you're doing. So in terms of things, the dojo, wherever you are, we will meet you and we will take you where you'd like to be. We can help you get there. We won't take you. You take yourself. We are here to facilitate, and we do it together. So we have, you should do voiceover intensives that I think there's still a few spots for January. So we're enrolling for 2022 for You Should Do Voiceover Intensive. Wherever you are on your journey, we like you to begin there. And then we have a full, it's called Mystery to Mastery, guiding you through that whole process, that evolution of exploration, self-exploration, demo prep, and integration. That's the Mystery Mastery program. And then we also have our Working Pro division, which is called the Nth Degree. You earn your black belt, then you go on to Nth Degree. And we have the Nth Degree Intensive, which is if you're starting out as a working pro and want to supercharge it. And then we have Focused Action Forum and our VO Dojo Pro Fight Clubs, we just finished. But these are working pro workouts that bring together top-notch talent and the decision makers who hire us. So there's lots of details. I just told you all the specials. So there's a lot to keep in mind. But if you're interested in finding out more about how we can help you get to being ready on the on-ramp or pimp your ride, or accelerate you from where you are. Jeffrey, can you share how to keep in touch with us?
I already have.
Awesome. So that, and sign up for a 15-minute voiceover once over. Jeffrey will be the person you're talking to, and we'd love to answer your questions and hear where you are and where you'd like to be. Which probably brings us to the top of the hour. So oh my gosh, you guys, this is so fantastic. What I'd like to do is close the official part of this journey, just so we honor our busy times, and invite you to come back the first Wednesday of every month. We do this at 10 a.m. PT for 1 hour with different amazing guests. And there's also archives of people who we've done before. So if you see something, or you can access that. Right now, I would like to thank Natasha and Katherine for coming and joining us, and thank all of you. This energy of like, whoa, we're all here together. This is what we do at the dojo. Because what we say at the dojo is, it's always just you, but you never do it alone. And when you go, boom, you get this energy of everyone together, aligned and unified. That's when the real acceleration comes, that real lift. So Jeffrey, so why don't you guys close out here, and then Jeffrey, if you want to hang out and ask some more questions, Jeffrey will break us off into little into breakout rooms, and maybe if you guys have a couple of minutes, Natasha and Katherine, if we put each of us in a room and Jeffrey in another room, and we can do a little after party sort of thing.
Fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us. It was lovely to meet so many new faces.
Yeah. Really, really good. Really good.
Yeah, I can hang out for about 10.
Okay.
I
cool.
can.
All right. So if you got to roll, we'll see you next month. See you. Have fantastic holidays. And call us. And if you want to hang out, just give us a second. And Jeffrey will put us in some breakout rooms. So yay. Thanks, everybody.